Hi, it's Erin, your certified emotion and body code practitioner and healer's healer. Today I would like to share with you about the emotion code. It is a healing technique that was developed by Dr. Bradley Nelson, a retired chiropractor. During the course of over 25 years of practice, he further refined this technique. What Dr. Nelson learned was that his patients' health issues were directly tied to emotional baggage. Western medicine knows statistically over 95% of the patients sitting in offices today are there because of their negative emotional baggage. Even the Centers for Disease Control, a federal agency, is now admitting that all disease is linked to the impacts from the negative emotional baggage we carry and its effects on the microbiology of the human cell. The emotion code healing system that Dr. Nelson developed recognizes and then releases your negative emotional baggage, which Dr. Nelson calls trapped emotions. He discovered that there are essentially 60 basic emotions, and he created a chart that is divided into two columns, column A and column B. The trapped emotions are then divided into 6 rows in groupings of 5. The rows are divided based upon specific organs and glands recognized in traditional Chinese medicine as frequency generators of energies. They are located in the first column of the emotion code chart. Trapped emotions are the unprocessed negative emotions that you have felt from events and experiences that you have had in your life. When we are able to process these negative emotions, they get stuck in our bodies. Then it becomes a question of how to get rid of them before they impact us physically, mentally, and emotionally. Their effects can be immediate, like a drunk lashing out angrily at someone, or more subtly, down the road over the course of your life, changing how you see, feel, experience, create life, because they act as filters blocking you. And as you know, filters get blocked up. Another interesting fact is that because these trapped emotions are generated by the frequency of the organ or gland that they are associated with, if they continue to remain in your body, they begin to tear away at your organs and glands. So you ask, how big could these trapped emotions be inside of my body? Well, when they first get stuck in you, they are the size of this lemon. As time goes on, though, and they remain there, they attract more of the same emotion. Remember, birds of a feather flock together? Well, so do the same emotions. They grow and grow like a cancer does. In time, they can grow to be the size of a cantaloupe, or even larger. I also want to let you know that there are different types of trapped emotions. The first type are the negative emotions that you felt at the time of the event or towards a specific person. Then we have inherited emotions. These are the trapped emotions that science has now discovered that come down through your DNA from your mother or your father. Have you ever noticed that you may have the same health issue as one of your parents? This is not a coincidence. It is the negative emotional baggage that was passed down to you in your DNA. Have you heard of the Holocaust from World War II? Well, in 2015, Scientific America published the study that was done on the descendants of the survivors of the Holocaust and Auschwitz, a well-known internment camp from men. How they had passed down generation to generation depression, anxiety, PTSD, and so many more negative emotions to their children, grandchildren. Up until then, there was no definitive proof of inherited emotional baggage from your ancestors in existence. In the emotion code, we have known about the existence of inherited trapped emotions for years. As your personal emotion body code practitioner, I am able to release your inherited trapped emotions all the way back to the ancestors who originally experienced the trapped emotions. And if you have any children, they too are cleared of the sadness, anxiety, depression. Another type of trapped emotion is prenatal. This happens while you are inside your mother's womb. It can be a negative emotion that she experienced, or it can be one that you generated because of something you heard. It has been documented that fetuses respond positively when they hear classical music. Well, what do you think happens when you, as a fetus, heard something negative? By now you are wondering what kind of impacts can trapped emotions have on you. Well, let me ask you this. Whom do you know that experiences anxiety, pain, IBS, depression, stress, PTSD, allergies, weight issues, even bad habits like procrastination, or in the way they think and filter life? These are just some of the examples how trapped emotions can impact your life, your loved ones, your children, partners, even your pets. Think about all those pets that are being adopted today, which in itself is traumatic. I know because I just recently adopted a cat. Now, you are asking yourself, how do you get rid of these things that have infiltrated your body and your mind? We as humans have this amazing gift called the subconscious mind. It is the 24-hour video recorder of your life. Even when you are sleeping or inside your mom's uterus, it knows what's going on now and what went on in the past. It is a holographic supercomputer, like your body's own file cabinet. Thankfully, it is in you because it runs your breathing, your digestive system, your heart. It pumps the blood flowing through you. Just to name a few of the automatic functions in your body. It runs over 95% of your life because your critical conscious mind runs less than 5% of it. Wow! I can hear you saying, how do you access this supercomputer to find these trapped emotions that are negatively impacting me physically, mentally, and emotionally? An important key to the emotion code process is muscle testing. It is also known as applied kinesiology. Through the use of this technology, we are able to access your supercomputer, your subconscious mind, to access it, I ask it very simple questions that it is able to respond to, either yes or no. And because I have made an agreement with my subconscious mind for it to show me what a yes looks like and what a no looks like when I muscle test, it's like taking a lie detector test. This is all part of the special training that I received during my certification process. In the future, I will be doing a video that will demonstrate muscle testing methods for you to use. The next key that is required is your permission to work on you. It's just like how you authorize someone to work on your car. Now, this is the really cool thing. You can sit comfortably at home without ever having to get on a plane or travel in your car to come to your appointment with me. And then you would have to travel all the way back to where you came from. I can hear you now. So how does she do this? Well, do you know what a proxy is? When you authorize someone to vote on your behalf? We are all connected. Today's physics states that is why you can think about someone that you haven't heard from in a long time, and then suddenly, poof, they call you. Because of this knowledge, I am able to connect right to your subconscious mind remotely via Zoom, Skype, or even by phone, provided that you live in the States. And work with you to release your trapped emotions, negative emotional baggage, because you have given me permission to act as your proxy to ask your subconscious mind yes and no questions. There's just one problem though. Just because we have identified these negative emotions, your trapped emotions, it doesn't get rid of them. The next step in the emotion code process is to get rid of them from you and your body, since they are there vibrating at a very high speed, which is why they are tearing away bit by bit at your organs and glands, which is why people end up sick, on medications, in pain, unhappy, unfulfilled, lonely. You get what I mean? Did you know that the average American by the age of 59 is on 6 prescriptions? All because these trapped emotions that have been stuck in their bodies all these years. So now we have to get them out of your body. To do this, I use a strong magnet. And because I am connected to your subconscious mind, I am going to run it down what is known as the governing meridian in acupuncture. It runs from the top of your lip, over your head, down your spine, to the tip of it. All of your other meridians in your body are connected to it. It is your personal energetic freeway to every cell in your body. What I do when I uncover your trapped emotion is that I set the intention to release your negative emotional baggage from your body using this magnet, which also protects me from picking them up from you as I release them, just like keeping your hands washed to prevent them from picking up unwanted germs. Now, before releasing your trapped emotion, we need to find out how severe is the problem that you are experiencing. Say, like a neck or a knee pain, anxiety, depression, or even heartache. Which kind of brings up another subject that I will be doing a separate video about. Just quickly though, have you ever had a relationship with someone that went south? You know what I mean. Then you hear a song or go to a place and it reminds you of them, right? And you feel either very sad or very angry. Chances are very high that you are experiencing a heart wall. 93% of people have walls around their hearts. You have heard of a broken heart, heartache. Well, these are some signs that you have a heart wall. Heart walls are built by your subconscious mind to protect you from being hurt again. However, there is one really big problem. They hurt all relationships. They keep you from feeling and experiencing life fully, abundantly, joyfully, and also keep you isolated. So let me ask you this question. Who or what has broken your heart in your life? Well, as I said, there will be another video about heart walls to help you have a greater understanding as to the pain they too are causing you. Getting back to how we determine how severe your problem is, we use a gauge to get some context as to how severe your problem is. It's a scale that runs from 1 to 10. 10 meaning it's horrible, almost unbearable, and 1 being barely noticeable, if at all. By the end of your emotion and body code session, the goal is to alleviate or eliminate your pain, whatever that may be, anywhere from 40% or more. The final key I would like to share with you about the emotion and body code process is how important it is for me, your practitioner, and for you, the client, to be well hydrated with water. Think about how fast electricity travels through water. Well, our bodies are made up of approximately 70% water. By both of us being well hydrated, it allows for the connection between us to be a super fast freeway. Instead of in gridlock, getting rid of your trapped emotions. The faster we can go, the more trapped emotions we get rid of in your emotion and body code session. I will have my glass of water by my side, and I ask that you have yours too at your emotion code body code session. If you have yet to book your emotion code or body code session with me, then please go ahead to the link listed below. And if you have already booked either your emotion or body code session, please check out the following video, How to Have a Successful Session. Thank you for joining me here today to learn how you can get rid of your negative emotional baggage, which is what is holding you back, creating your pain, your heartache, your weight issues, your lack of abundance in your life. I look forward to chatting with you again soon. Make it a great day.